The Halloween witches once upon a time, in a land where autumn painted the trees in shades of red, yellow, and orange, there was a group of special friends who gathered every year on All Hallows' Eve. But these were not ordinary friends, they were delightful witches, full of joy, who loved nothing more than frolicking and playing under the magical moonlit sky. These witches were charming and kind, nothing like the scary witches you might have heard about. They loved to laugh, dance, and share in the magic of Halloween night. Every year, when the crisp autumn air filled the forest and the leaves crunched beneath their feet, the witches would come together for their most favorite night of the year. On this special night, the witches dressed in their finest. They wore beautiful white dresses that sparkled like stars, tall pointed hats of brilliant scarlet, and flowing cloaks that swirled with every step they took. And, of course, they carried their beloved brooms. These brooms weren't for cleaning, they were for flying. As the sun dipped below the horizon, the sky turned dark and the stars began to twinkle. The witches gathered one by one in their secret forest clearing. Each witch arrived with her broomstick, treating it as if it were her closest companion. They stabled their brooms gently at the back of the clearing, giving them a little pat before stepping forward to greet their friends with big smiles and graceful bows. "Are we all ready for our night of magical fun?" asked the oldest witch, her eyes sparkling like the stars overhead. "All ready," the younger witches replied, their faces glowing under the soft light of the moon. And so, their night of playful magic began. The witches danced and twirled in the moonlight, their voices blending into a joyful song filled with laughter and magic. As they moved, their cloaks billowed around them like waves, and their brooms floated gently in the air above them, waiting patiently to be flown. They sang a playful tune, teasing the night with their merry voices. "Beware, young man, escape while you can," they chanted, their laughter echoing through the quiet forest. But the witches meant no harm. They were full of mischief, but their hearts were as kind as a gentle breeze. As they danced, the witches chased each other playfully around the clearing. They swirled and spun, their laughter ringing through the trees like music. The youngest witch, who was always full of giggles, looked around at her friends and burst into laughter. "Can you imagine if someone actually took our silly warnings seriously?" she exclaimed. "Oh, that would be so funny," cackled another witch, her eyes twinkling with amusement. "Just imagine them running away, thinking we were scary." The witches all giggled, knowing that their playful warnings were all in good fun. They were never meant to frighten anyone, they simply loved to add a little extra magic to the night. As the night wore on, the moon climbed higher into the sky, and the air grew cooler. The witches were still dancing and singing when suddenly, the oldest witch raised her hand and called out, "There's one, girls." All the witches froze for a moment, their eyes wide with excitement. "Oh, catch him, they cried, their voices bubbling with laughter. In a flash, the witches grabbed their brooms and leapt into the air. One by one, they soared into the sky, their capes fluttering behind them like the wings of birds. They flew higher and higher, chasing after the playful shadow of a figure running through the forest. The witches weren't truly trying to catch anyone, of course. They were just playing, adding a bit of excitement to their Halloween night. As they flew, the youngest witch giggled. "What if we really do catch him?" The other witches laughed and swooped around in circles, their broomsticks leaving trails of light in the air. "We'd have to invite him to dance with us," one of the witches said, her voice full of fun. But soon, the figure disappeared into the mist, and the witches floated back down to the ground. "Well, maybe next year," the youngest witch laughed as they touched down in their clearing once more. As dawn approached, the witches knew it was time to say goodbye to their magical night. They gathered their brooms and prepared to return to their homes, their hearts full of joy from their night of fun and laughter. But before they left, the oldest witch turned to the others and said, "Remember, dear friends, next All Hallows' Eve, we will gather again, as we always do. And we'll dance, laugh, and spread our magic through the night." Until next time, the witches chimed, waving goodbye as they flew off into the early morning mist. Their silhouettes faded away, but their laughter lingered in the air like a sweet melody. And so, each year on All Hallows' Eve, the playful witches return, bringing joy and magic to the forest. They aren't scary witches at all, just mischievous friends who love to play and make the night a little more magical. So, dear children, if you ever find yourself out on Halloween night and you happen to see these charming witches dancing under the moon, don't be afraid. They're there to fill the night with fun and magic, and maybe, if you're lucky, you'll hear their cheerful warnings echo through the air. But remember, it's all just a bit of playful fun. Magic is all around us, and sometimes it's hiding where we least expect it.